This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, today we'll start Linux shell scripting. So before that, let us understand the main components in Linux OS, Linux OS architecture. In Linux OS, on the higher level, applications will be running. Applications will be running, and these applications are commands. Applications are commands, are Linux commands. So these will be interact with your shell. Shell is another program which is stays between your programs and your kernel. So next we have a kernel. Kernel is again it's another program which will directly interact with hardware. Which will directly interact with the hardware. So when we execute any command in Linux, then shell will actually process whether the command is correct or not. Process our command by verifying whether whether the command is valid or not. Once it is valid, then shell will communicate with your kernel. Okay, shell will communicate with the kernel. Okay, and forward the request. Okay, received from the user. Then kernel will communicate with the hardware. Kernel will communicate with the hardware. The hardware related hardware means hardware have many components. So it will communicate with the one of the hardware component with the hardware, one of the hardware component, right? That means shell is a mediator between user and kernel. So shell is a mediator between users and kernel. Kernel, okay, is a mediator between shell and hardware. Right. Now try to understand shell scripting. Shell scripting means executing set of commands. Set of commands, okay. Set of commands exists in a file with extension as .sh. So it is a special file. This file have extension as .sh. Okay, and then shell scripting is used to perform daily routine activities. Suppose you want to execute daily some 10-20 commands, then you can write it in a single file and you can execute that file every day, then all the commands in that file will be executed. Okay, shell scripting is used to perform daily routine activities automatically by executing the shell scripting file, the file which has extension .sh. That file, if you execute, then all the commands will be executed. Example, suppose you have some tasks, you have a task.sh file, then how you execute it? You will execute either at the prompt you will say sh tasks.sh. This is a way, if you do, then all the commands inside task.sh will be executed. Okay, for example, I want to execute some commands. For example, I want to execute some commands like present working directory is a command, date is a command, calendar is a command, who am I is a command. So these commands I want to execute. For example, these 4 commands I want to execute at a time. Then I can copy these commands in a shell file and I can execute it. For example, now become a root user. Now write something like vi tasks dot sh file. This is a file. Vi, you know what it is. Okay, this is a file. I'm opening this file. Here I want to write command called present working insert mode. Type I here, insert mode. I first command I want to run power present working directory. Okay, uh, and then I want to write another command called date command, and another command called calculator. Another is who am I. These 4 commands I want to run. Escape and come out of it. Now, if I run, how to run sh tasks.sh. You see 4 commands executed. First is present working directory is this one, date is this one, and calendar is this command, and who am I is the output of this one. If you run that individually, present directory will give this one, date will give this one, and calendar you will display the calendar, and what is the last one? Who am I? So like this, you have to individually you have to run the commands, right? Individually you have to run these commands. So to avoid that, you can directly write the commands in one single file, right? So cat task. So this is a command. So you can actually normally when you're writing, there are different types of shell scripts. The writing style will be different. There will be different writing styles are available. So one we are using is of type bin bash. So we are using bin bash scripting, you can say bash scripting. So you can write in the beginning. So when the script when the Linux, whenever anybody want to write a script here, they don't know. This is a simple example, no need to confusion here, but sometimes some scripts are very lengthy. So writing the scripting are different, actually different scripting types are there actually. So to tell them that what type of scripting we have used, then you can mention over here, like here you can say uh, tilde bin, no sorry, bin bash. You can say bin bash. When you say bin bash, then meaning is what? That means you have to give it tilde here, and yeah, bin bash. This says that you are using a type of bash scripting. You are using a scripting type called bash scripting. So this line is called as shebang. This is called shebang or shebang. People pronounce this differently. What is shebang? The way this writing this is called shebang. So you have to mention the shebang over here. The shebang tells that what scripting you have used. And what is the dollar symbol, hash symbol here? Hash symbol is a comment. This will not be executed. These two lines will not be executed because in the beginning you have given hash symbol. When you give hash symbol, that means they will not be executed. Those are comments. So by seeing this, the other script writers will understand that okay, the other person has used bash scripting. Then he also he will add his code in the same file using the bash scripting style. Okay, this is very important to understand. Okay, you try this one. So execute this as sh task1.sh. Okay, this is the content. You try later. So one more example we will try. Something like come out of this, escape. This is something like a name.sh. It will ask, for example, it will ask your name, or it will display some name. Okay, display message dot sh. Dot sh must you should add here. Insert mode, here you will say ash. Make it a habit of writing the script what you are writing. So here I'm saying bin bash. So here comment is not required. Bin bash, this is a script we are using now. And here suppose you want to print something on the screen, you should use a command called echo. Echo is a Linux command. So when you say echo hello world, the hello world will be printed. Hello world will be printed. Okay, one more line, echo I want to print welcome to my, suppose welcome to the world, something. These are two things I want to print. Okay, escape. And you see, if I say what files I have, display message.sh, right? How to run it? sh d tab, enter. You see what we got? Hello world, welcome to the world. The output we received, right? So this way you can write multiple scripts, multiple lines in the file, and you can run it at time. Okay, here you say sh display message dot sh. You try this one. Now for example, I want to ask a number and I want to print a number, or ask a name and I want to print it. Okay, interaction with the user. I'll say vi print name, for example, dot sh. Here I will say hash insert mode. Here echo enter your name. So it will ask you on the prompt, you will enter some name. So read is another command. So read will read whatever you have entered. It will enter, save whatever you entered, it will save in a variable. What is this? It is called a variable. What is name? You can give name, you can give name to, whatever you can give, it's called as a variable. Its variable is nothing but it's a, it will have the value whatever you entered. Whatever you entered, it will temporarily store. It will temporarily store. So whatever value it is storing, so insert this name, we have to give some name. So why we have to give a name? So that it is a temporary storage. Tomorrow I want to print it, then I have to refer that name. When you refer that name, then that name is pointing to that temporary location where you have entered the value. Your whatever name you entered, it will stored in the memory somewhere. To that location, this name is pointing. It will referring to that location. Whenever you want to print the value in that location, then you have to again ask name to print it. That variable will print it. How to ask the name variable to print it? Simply you say echo again, echo hi. Okay, I want to print the value inside the variable, right? If you want to print the value inside the name variable, I should use a special character called dollar. Then I have to use a name. So if you say it like this, then your Linux script understands that okay, name having referring to some location, it having that value. So to print that value, you should say dollar name. The name will fetch that value from the memory and it will print it on the screen. Okay, so these are called variables. Okay, so let's run this. So sh print. Enter your name. I'll say Ram. It's message giving hi Ram. Okay, so this way you can enter values and we get the output. The small examples. Okay, okay, you try this. Now suppose I want to add two numbers. I want to add two numbers. Okay, we add numbers dot sh. So first variable name, I can give any name. I can give any name, something like a equal to 100, b equal to 200. The total I want to print. I should say c equal to and $a $b. The value whenever you want. Previously I said dollar name. Dollar name, when you say, the value inside the name will be fetched and printed. Now a is referring to a location, or simply you can think it as a having 100, b having 100, 200. I want to add both of them. So you should not say a plus b. You should not say a plus b. If you say a plus b, it will not work. You want to you want the value inside the variable, so you should say dollar a. Should say dollar a and dollar b. Both should be having dollar in the beginning, and both you should come put in a bracket. In like shell scripting, this is a different syntax. Okay, both should be printed. Both are added now. Both are added, and you got a value called 300. That 300 again stored in the memory. That value I want to print. Then if you want to print that value 300, then you have to use another dollar here again and put again one more bracket. This way you have to write. See, dollar a plus dollar b in a bracket, and the total I want to get it means again you should dollar, again you have to put the total inside a bracket. That way the syntax you have to use. Now C got the total value. Now I will say echo, okay, sum of a plus b. I want the value inside a, right? Dollar a and dollar b is dollar C. This way you will get. Any doubts here, please? Any questions?
So
Any
it
doubts, please?
won't, yeah, in C we have given two braces, no? Two open braces and two closed
Yes, correct.
braces.
Oh, correct,
So it
correct.
won't work if we give only one brace, one open and one closed.
It won't work actually. It won't work. We'll see that. It won't work.
Okay.
We'll try that. We'll try that as well.
Mm.
Yes, insert mode. Go to insert mode. Let me try that. Remove this and remove this. Okay, correct. Okay, let's try this. Now sh add numbers. So we did not got the value. We did not got the value. So that's a syntax we have to use. No way. It's the weird syntax, but we have to use that way. So insert mode. Now try to run again. Now we got the value. So this is another example of adding numbers. You can read the numbers as well from the command prompt, like we read the value of ram. Similarly you can read the values from the command prompt also. You can do that way also, right? So cat add numbers, copy this code and try this. Okay, now we'll understand some more variables like uh, command or line arguments. We'll try to understand command line arguments. Command line arguments. Command line arguments means, for example, here if I say ls, if I say ls, I'm getting this way. If I say ls hyphen l, I'm saying I'm getting this way. So program, you see, ls is the program. Already there is a program called ls. It is running. To the same program, previously I have not given any argument, but here I am giving some argument. So this my hyphen l is a argument to this program, or I can say a command line argument. On the command line, this is a command line. This on this line to this program, I'm passing a argument hyphen l. So when you pass hyphen l, it will give different way of output. If I say hyphen la, it will give also show me the hidden files also. So whatever you providing the command line, that way it will react. The similar way, if you want to give you want to do something like for example, previously I used shell script, right? Add numbers, right? Here I want to say 10, 100 and 200. This is the way I want to give command line arguments. Whatever you want, you give it. I want the output. So this way I want to pass the values to my program. This is my requirement. To do that, we need to know and we need to understand how to do it in our shell scripting. So before we do it, we have to learn some basics about command line arguments. See, whenever you pass argument, so whenever you write this, you can read these values. These values you can read in your program, in your shell scripting. You can read these values. The first one is 0. This value will be 0, 0. This will be 1, and this will be 2. So 0, 1, 2. If I want to refer 100, I should refer in my shell script. I should say 1, not directly 1. I should say $1, $2. When I say $2, I get this value. If I say $0, I will get this value in my script. For example, uh, before I write a program, let's understand. Okay, $0 gives you will give what the file name, the will give the script name. $1 will give first argument. Okay, first argument value. So this will be second argument. Like that it continues. Suppose I don't know how many arguments are there, then you can say $star. When you say $star, whatever arguments you have given, all will be fetched. Okay, all arguments. Okay, we can read all the arguments in the script. And we have dollar hash symbol. When you use dollar hash symbol, because I want to know how many arguments are there in total. $star is fine, but I want to know how many are the total. So this will give the total value, how many arguments are there. Okay, we'll give the total number of arguments count. This is very important. With this information, let us improvise our program. Okay, now vi. Okay, so vi command args1.sh. Here again you can write the shebang, sorry. So you practice it writing the same way. So shebang, and here you should say bin bash. Okay, so here result. Previously I said c equal to, right? I will say result equal to. Variable name can be anything. Okay, same thing. Previously I said dollar opening parenthesis and one more parenthesis, closing parenthesis, another parenthesis, right? So now a plus b I added, right? $1, $a, $b. But I don't want to do that way. I will say $1 plus $2. You see $1 plus $2. That means in the command line I will be giving 10, 100 and 200. If I give, then 100 will be $1 and 200 will be $2. So this way I can fetch the value from the argument, and result will have the output. Okay, if you say echo sum is $result, the sum is dollar result. Again one more echo. Okay, this time I want to give the script name. Okay, script name is, right, how can I get the script name? $0 will give the script name. Yes or no? This way. And what else? Echo total arguments. Okay, I can say $hash. Instead $hash, it will give the total arguments. You can use, okay, this way you can use your logic. Escape. Now if I say shcmd args, here I will say 99 space and I'll say 101. I should guess 200. You see, sum is 200. Script name is our script name. Total arguments are 2, 1 and 2. Hope you're understanding. Any doubts, please? Are you understanding?
Yes, no doubts.
Okay, right. Then cat. Yeah, then cat. Okay, copy this. Okay, give some name, any name. I'll say 100 and 300. Okay, you try this. Okay, this one example is enough, and these arguments will be examples will be this argument command argument example will be using in other programs, other scripts, but for as of now that's enough. And next we try to understand the conditional statements. Conditional statements. Like suppose I have two numbers a and b. A and b, I have two values. I want to know which is greater. That is one example. That is a conditional. Their condition is required. Suppose I will ask some the name. Enter your name. If he is some XYZ, if he is XYZ, I want to greet him, or I want to give him some permissions. If he is not that person, if he is another person, I want to give him some other permissions. Something I want to authorize or unauthorized. Suppose he is Ram, then I want to authorize him. If he is not Ram, I don't want to authorize. This example. Then how I can use? So first of all, if you have to use if statement, and in the square bracket give a space and condition, and a space and close the condition. This way you have to do. If condition is true, then you have to write then here you do what you want to do. Statements means nothing but these are all statements. These are all called statements. So whatever you want to do, you write under then. If condition is wrong, if there is not condition is not matching, then you will go to else part. In the else again you write your statements. Once you written the statements, then you have to end this if statement. How? Reverse of if is fi. This way you have to write. Okay, let's try one example here. Sh. Okay, check name, for example, check name dot sh. Here I will write a program, something like echo, I'll say hash bin bash echo enter your name. Okay, he entered a name. Okay, I have to read it. No, I have to read it. Name, read is compulsory. Now the value name is stored in the name variable. Here I will say if square bracket space dollar name is under that value name will be whatever name you entered, it will come. If name equal to, okay, double equal to, see, it's not single equal to, it's equal, double equal. Double equal to means it's verifying. Is name equal to Ram? Something like this, I'm checking. Space and close the square bracket. Dollar name, suppose you entered Ram, for example. Ram equal to Ram, both are matching. If both are matching, then I will say I want to print some statement like echo hi, okay, hi Ram, okay, you are authorized. Okay, if it's not Ram, else echo, I'll say something like hello, whatever is, I'm sorry, here I should say not Ram, right? I should say variable name. Here, hi, hello Ram, hello, you are not authorized. Something I want to put, and here fi, this is a reverse of if. These things you have to write. Vi conditions 1.sh insert mode, paste it here, escape. Now sh conditions, enter your name. I will say something like John. John, you are authorized. So here some problem in the code. John should not be authorized. So for that, let me open this code. Insert mode. Let me give some space here. Right, see, very sensitive, this scripting is very sensitive, but in other language it's not like that. So what you have to do is you have to give a space here. If you don't give a space, it won't work. So if I give now Ram, for example, if I say Ram, you are authorized. If any other name, if I give Ravi, you are not authorized. This way you have to use. If multiple state conditions are there, multiple conditions, you can use multiple conditions. For example, multiple conditions is better, you use it with some numbers. With some numbers you can use, okay, something like I'll try this, or else I will try this here. Okay, conditions with multiple if statements, if else statements. Okay, so if you are using multiple if else statements, then the syntax will be somewhat different. The syntax will be different. For example, the same program, let me take. You can apply your own logic tomorrow whenever you're trying. So for example, I am taking a name, for example, and if it is Ram, you are authorized, that is fine. But if it is not Ram, if it is Raghu, for example, then I will say else if, see, else if, shortcut you see, ILIF, else if dollar name equal to Raghu, okay, then I will say echo, here I'll say hi Raghu, you will be having partial permissions, something like that. Okay, then again, then is over. If any more conditions are there, you can write again else if, like that you can continue the conditions. Okay, here you have to use square, right, like that. Okay, here you are enough, for example, then you can say else. Finally you can say else. If you want more condition, you can write again one else if, again later some conditions, and then else, like that you have to end. Else is must, like that you can add. So if I use the same program, vi condition 2.sh insert mode. So if I say what happened here, okay. So now let us run this condition. To enter a name, I will say Raghu. What name I have given there? The code capital Raghu, small r, right? RGU Raghu. Hi Raghu, you will be having partial permissions. If it is Ram, you are authorized. If is somebody other than that, Sita, for example, hi hello Sita, you are not authorized. This way you will have it, the program will behave differently. Okay, that is one example. And with numbers, in numbers also same thing. Okay, for example, here, for example, I want to check whether out of two numbers, I want to check which is greater. Okay, I will say echo enter first number. So first number will be entered. You can get it from command line also. Okay, you try that as an assignment. You can try come from using command line. You can get the values. Here I am entering directly 1. Okay, enter second number 2. So two numbers are entered now. Now we have to check if square bracket space dollar number 1. Here is symbol is hyphen gt, if greater than. Gt means greater than. Number 1 hyphen greater than number 2. Number 2 space square bracket. Then okay, simple echo. You should write number 1 is greater than number 2. Okay, else what? Else number 2 is greater than number 1, and you have to close this F5. If you don't close, you will get error. VI numbers condition .sh insert mode. Now sh numbers, and the first number I will say 200, and the second number I will enter 201. 201 is greater than 200, right? If I entered 100, another as 900, 900 is greater than 100, right? Yes or no? So this way, if I enter 900 and another I enter 400, so 900. So this way you have to do the things, right? And next, what if I want to repeat some tasks? Suppose I want to need to display a string 10 times as below. I want to print hello world 10 times. Then I want to print like this. Then what you do normally? You do what? You will say echo, and you will print like that. You will do 10 times. So it's not correct way, right? It's not correct way. So why, first of all, why we print 10 times? We want to print normally, that is not the requirement, but the requirement will be different. The requirement will be sometimes it will be repetitive tasks. Sometimes you have to do repetitive tasks. If you want to do repetitive tasks, we have to use loop statements. We have to use loop statements. Loops, what is this? Loop statements. So we have different types of loop statements. One is for loop, okay. Another is do while loop. Another is do while. We can use a while loop or do while. You can say do while or while loop. Okay, we'll see do while and do while. First, we'll see how we can use while loop. Okay, right. You can use do while or while do. Both are there. While loop also there. Both are there. Both types are there. We'll see. So for loop, if you want to use for loop, how we can use a for loop? Using a for loop statement. The syntax, how to write. First syntax, you would write for and two brackets, two parentheses, opening parentheses. Here you would write initial value and a semicolon, space, condition, semicolon. Here you can increment or decrement the initial value. Okay, again close these two parentheses which you opened. Okay, now your for loop starts. How it starts? First you write do what? The statements which are you interested to do, statements. And then once you did, then you say done. This way you have to write. Whatever you want to repeat, as long as this condition matches, you can repeat it. Example I will give. For example, for initially I will use a variable. You know the variable, what is variable? You take any name, assign it a value 1, and I'm saying condition count. Okay, condition count less than 11, close this condition. Count equal to count plus 1. So what happens? Close this parenthesis. First condition, and this count equal to count plus 1, that means previously it is 1. Okay, I will explain that anyway. Now I want to do something here. What I want to do, I want to echo hello world. Okay, and done. This is the one I want to execute. So first time count is 1, condition, it goes to condition 1 less than 11, yes, print the value. Then control goes to count equal to count plus 1. Now previously count is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 will be assigned to count. Now count having 2, again it goes to condition 2 less than 11, yes, print it. Again count having 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 stored in count, 3 less than 11, yes, like that till when it becomes 10, 10 plus 1 is 11, 11 less than 11, false. Then the loop will come out of. That means it will print, this will be printed 10 times. So but in here we won't use count equal to count plus 1, we will use like this, count plus plus. Count plus plus is nothing but count equal to count plus 1. Okay, that way you have to write here. So it's the same script I want to write. Okay, the same script I want to write. Then just write this, that's all. Here vi for1.sh, we insert mode, I'll say sh for, you see hello world printed 10 times. You want the counter? Okay, go here, try some these things. For example, I want the counter value, then simply say dollar insert mode. I want the count value, right? Count, when it's a count value will come. First count will be 1, 1 2 3, it will come. You see 1 2 3 4 up to 10 times it has printed. Okay, here you can, if you want, you can include count here if you want, not required. Any questions here?
No, nothing.
Okay. Using, yeah, okay, nice. Using while loop now. While loop statement. How to use while loop statement we should understand now. So it's same like for loop only, but these three parts are splitted. Here we are writing at one single location, one single line, but in while loop we'll write it in different places. You see the same program. If I want to write, for example, okay, I want to display numbers, for example, then I should say, first of all, count equal to 1. Okay, enter. Now while, okay, in a square bracket, it's a condition, right? Same like if having square bracket, similarly while also having a square bracket, it's a condition. Then I should say dollar count. Okay, count. This another way, you see, hyphen less than or equal to 10. That's the not equal to, because it's a like it's a we're using a square bracket. Here we have to use a different way. In the for loop we are using parenthesis, that the condition is different. So less than or equal to 10 is count is first 1. 1 less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. If it is less than 10, then what you want to do, I'll say simply echo. Okay, I want to print the counter itself. Simply I will print the counter itself, count. Okay, and before you enter done, I have to write one more statement. You have to increment your count, right? You have to increment the count. So how to increment the count? You should say let count plus plus. This way you have to do. So this first part is here, second part is here, third part is here. This way it has been split. Okay, try this. Now sh while loop. See, we got the count numbers. Right? So this way we can use while loops. Okay. Another topic is, in shell scripting we have important is functions. Functions, or we call them as methods. Methods. So what are these? Normally developers, whenever they write code without functions or methods, they will never develop the code. These are mandatory. So every function, every method having some set of instructions. They will do some special jobs. They will do some special, every function will do a special job. Okay, let us see how to write these function syntaxes. But before that, whenever we want to repeat a task for multiple times, then we can use functions. That is one thing. Okay, that is one important thing. Another is what? And also to avoid duplicate code, also to avoid we write functions. How we avoid the duplicate code, we'll try to understand that also. So before that, how you write a function? Function is a keyword. You have to write function, and then the function name. You have to give the function name, and before that you have to give, and then you have to give a curly bracket, sorry, parenthesis, and then a curly bracket. It's the beginning of the function and it's the ending of your function. Here you will have your statements. And how you, I want to run, I want to execute these statements which are inside this function. Then how can you execute this functions statements inside this function? Then I have to call this function. How I have to call a function? just say function name. Just say function name, that's it. That will be called. That's it. For example, if I say a function ash shebang bin bash, here you see I will write a function I will say hello, or I'll say display name is the function begin and end. Here I'll say echo, okay, or else I'll say function ask name. For example, here is a variable, okay, variable, okay, it becomes somewhat can I use this variable? No. Okay, I won't make it so that complicated. So here I will say simple. First we start with simple example, display name, uh, hello world, something I want to display. Then I'll say here I will call display name, that's it. This small program, much is much is there in this, but we'll see that we'll make it a little bit complicated. Vi function one dot sh insert. If I say sh function, now hello world is displayed. If you repeat this statement, for example, if you repeat, suppose I want to write for example, assume if there is no function, what you used to do, I want to print this statement 10 times, for example, then I should say 10 times. For loop is there, for loop, understand, for loop is there, but functions are different. We'll see how they are different. I want to print 5 times, then no need to say echo 5 times. See this in this example there is only one instruction. I want to execute these instructions 5 times. It is only one line. I can do this way. But assume this function having 20 lines. These 20 lines to be executed 20 times or 10 times, then it's very difficult. So better you call this function as many times you want to repeat. You can do it. Suppose I want to call it the function 4 times. Then 4 times you will get the output. Suppose insert, or I'll say here you have to copy, right? I'll say what is the copy for this? What is the command? YY, enter, here paste, 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 escape. Now you say sh function, you see hello world 4 times it is printed. If there are many statements, then functions are very much useful. So suppose okay, this is another function, okay, test, call another function, or say call another function. Yeah, this function just calling the first function, display name, and here I'm calling the call another function. So I'm calling this function and this function calling this function. Let's see how it works. You can try this. And here you also try this one. .sh insert mode. Now let's run this. You see hello world is printed, same output. So what we understood by this function is reusing a code which is already available inside another function. Suppose assume this function having 10 lines. The same 10 lines I want to use in this function. For example, this function will display some its own instructions, echo some other tasks are processed here, and then display I want some code which is already available in another function that I want to reuse. Then if you want to reuse these methods, assume it having some many are there. For example, this having hello world, okay, and here I'll say task 2, task 3, okay, and this is doing some other task processed here, okay, something like task 4, and okay, this task 1, and this is some task 5, okay. So now this function want to do task 1 and task 5. It also want to do some task this one also some something like task 10. So it want to do that 10 tasks, second task, third. These tasks it has to do. This function has to do. So this method already having, then if it is already having that task. If you don't call that, then you have to repeat the same code here. If you have to repeat, you have to repeat the same code like this. So this is called code repetition. So that is the reason I told you. Also avoid duplicate code. Okay. Also to avoid duplicate code. Uh, uh, and to also, okay, to also to our duplicate code we write function. So here you see, here duplicate, here also duplicate, here also duplicate, here only 3 lines, but in real time there could be lot of lines. So better you don't duplicate it, okay. Instead you call the function, display function, you call directly, that's it. The code whatever there, okay, will be used, no need to duplicate it. Then your code looks very small. This may you can try. Okay, let's try this again. Vi function, okay, just remove this, insert mode. Now if you say function, I wanted to execute it. No, sh, you see some other tasks are processed here. You see first line is executed, and then three lines will be executed. 10 2 3, 10 2 3, then this instruction executed. Task 5 is executed. So all these instructions are executed by calling only one function. You see, I'm not calling this function, I'm calling this function, and this function calling this above function. Any questions, please?
No, sir.
Okay, I will end with another example, another one small example. For example, I can use, because I'm using shell scripting, right? In the shell scripting, we can use Linux commands as well. For example, I want to print content of a file. Okay, suppose I want to print ls, ls. I will say sh show content is a shell script. Okay, I want to show content of function 2, for example. I will say function 2.sh. If I say like this, then the function 2 content I want to view. I want to view. Okay, that way I want to perform. Cat is a command to do that. Cat function, okay, to sh, if I say, it will print the content. The same way I want output. So what I will do, you see, here I will write a code something like bin bash. Okay, bin bash. Here I want to, what I will do, first of all, I want to read the file name from the argument, command line argument only. So file name, okay, file name equal to, first argument will be $1. I got the file name. Then I will write a function. I will say display file data or something, begin. Here I'll say already I got the file name. I will simply say cat and the value inside the file name. That's it. The cat will do what? It will print the content of that file. That's it, simple. Then I will say I will call the file name. That's all. Display file data. Very simple. Okay, this is a small example. Okay, vi show file content .sh insert mode. Now sh show, here I will say file, what is that, function 2, for example function 2.sh. You see I got the output. I got the output of that. So I am passing the argument. Before it was not working here, right? Now it is working fine as expected. This file name is stored inside this variable file1, and this here I am simply saying cat file name. That's it. The cat will take care of rest of the things. And the last example I want to use is I want to create a file. Okay, create a file. Okay, create a file if it is not already existing. If it is existing, already, then do not create. There's a program. So I will say now hash bin bash. I will ask him, I will ask the user echo, okay, echo enter the file name to be created. You will enter, you have to read it. I will say file name. He entered it. Now I have to check it if file exists or not in the square bracket. Okay, here we have a special argument called -f. -f will tells that we are checking for a file, simply -f, and now you have to give in double quotation your file name, right? It is inside your file name variable. You have to give in dollar symbol. That's it. This will check if the file exists or not. It will check if it is existing now, then you have to say file already exists. You should say file name is already existing. Okay, okay, okay. I should say yeah, then I should say, right, then echo. Okay, then if it is not existing, then go to else part. Then you should say echo, okay, file does not exist, creating now, something like that. How you create? Simply use the Linux command touch. That's it, touch. Which file name you already entered, right? The same you give, and f5 esc. That's it, very simple. Now vi create file.sh insert mode, save here, come out of it. Now sh create, what is saying? Okay, I have not given the parameter, right? You have to give the parameter argument. Clear the screen. Here it is. I will say what is the file we have already. These are files we have. Then I will say condition2.sh. okay, what is saying? Something, yeah, some code issue. Here I have said read. I have not said read properly. That's a problem. H. You see carefully here. It is saying line 4 read H command not found. Okay, you should read the errors as well. Insert mode, escape. Yeah, here I will say sh create file, right? I say for1.sh. It's already there. It is saying, what is this? Okay. I'm not taking it from arguments. Oh, I'm not using command line arguments, right? Sorry. Enter. I'll say vi create. Here I'll say for1.sh. It is saying for1.sh is already existing. Okay, then I will give this time a new file dot txt. Okay, you see here there is no file within that name. Enter. File does not exist. Creating now. So ls, you see now, new file should be here somewhere. Yeah, new file is there. It is created now. Okay, this way you can create any file dot sh or txt, right? ls, yeah, any file is created. So like that you can create any file. Okay, this way you practice all this. Just you try to understand the syntax is important. Understanding the syntaxes are important. Once you understand the syntaxes, if you know how to drive a car, that's it. You can drive long distances. That's the same applies here as well. Just try to understand how the syntaxes has been used, practice them. Okay, you practice them, and if you have any doubts, ask me tomorrow. We'll work on that. Okay, is that fine?
Yes.
Okay, right. Sujata, do you want to continue at 2 o'clock or you exhausted?
Yeah, we can continue.
Okay, then we join at 2 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
for your time. Yeah, take care. Bye.
Thank you.